Take two. Let's go again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to BRL ACC Xbox Division round number 5 at Donnington Park. I apologize, my mic was muted. That first part I did an entire intro. It was so embarrassing. We're getting ready to go. We got ourselves 9.5 minutes now left in qualifying. We'll have a second qualifying afterwards because tonight we have a very special double race. We have two 30-minute races to come after our qualifying sessions tonight. Super action-packed, super fun to watch, always creates interesting drama, and I'm all here for it. Donnington, 12 turns around this racetrack. We've got a few good overtaking opportunities a little bit into turn 1, of course. Down the back straight into turn 9 and 10, the little chicane, and then the two hairpins to finish out the lap, 11 and 12. Great places to try and make some moves. We'll definitely see a lot of bold overtakes and some interesting strategies to go along with it tonight. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. We're currently on board Stolowski, who won last weekend out at Spa in our 2-hour endurance race, using the same livery as he did last weekend, so maybe a bit of a good luck charm. Currently 7th at the moment, though, in qualifying. I don't think he's hit his full potential. You can see at the top, though, super close between John Skep and Jug. A little bit off towards 4th and back, but you'll see those gaps close up, and especially in our second qualifying session, we should definitely see those gaps close up even more because they'll be more in tune with the racetrack and ready to go. So we'll hop on board Jug here. He's a bit of a lap. Yes, he is about a 10th down, but he's still got about half the lap to go to try and make it up. And while we watch him, I will grab your points standings. So, the guy we're currently on board with, Jug and the Lexus, currently on top. But a bit of a dip in form in the last 2 weeks. Not too much of a dip in form, obviously. Won the first 2 races out. A 3rd and a 4th so far. Puts him on 94 points today. Second place, John 5 points back. They were tied going into the weekend, but John, a disappointing weekend, finished 8th in Spa, drops down 5 points behind Jug. 14 points back is Stolowski, the guy who won last weekend, and then it's quite a big gap to Calzoner and Skeppy, 62 points and 60 points respectively. Neymar sitting in 6th with a solid season so far, 53 points to his name. GameStopper 7th, 51. Cold Carnival, Hulk Smash, Butch Giblet round out your top 10 in points. Stylo, with only 2 races so far this season, currently on 34 points and 11th, tied with Butch Giblet for 10th. So he looked pretty good last weekend, and we'll see how he gets along in the rest of this season. Gucci, Feta Cheese, Arabian Killer, Alphanesis, Soviet Valkyrie, Redeemer, Rattly Whisper, Wiki 4, Guardian, Heatwave, and Radicus round out the points standings. It's all about this fight at the top between those guys, Jug, Skeppy, John, and Stolowski as well. Don't count out other names to grab some surprise wins. You never know. Jug is about a 10th and a bit up, heading into the final corner here. Super slow hairpin. Make sure you get the car rotated. Use that curve on the inside a little bit for that rotation. Nice power down on the exit. He's going to find 2/10. Stays 3rd though, so we'll hop back over here. Wow, that is close between the top 3. John has actually just gone way faster and found himself about 2/10 of a second and improves his gap over Skeppy and John. Mercedes looking quite good this weekend. As a whole, so only 1-2. Calzoner a little bit down the order in 9th, but still has 4 minutes and 40 seconds to try and find that time that he's missing. Like to give a big shout out to this guy right here in 10th place. We'll see, does he improve on his best lap? Doesn't look like he has. He'll stay in 10th, but Ichigo has returned after a bit of a hiatus with college. Got his setup back into his dorm room, and he's currently racing there. So, looking alright to start off. He's trying to get a bit of that rust off. It's been a while since he's raced. He's in the Audi. He was in the McLaren last season. See how this Audi treats him as he tries to get warmed back up into the game. He did win one of our sprint races last season. Could he repeat again? We will have to see. And down the back straight to the sector split line and now into the S's. I don't know why they're called the S's. It's basically a slow speed chicane, but we'll see. First of the two final hairpins for Ichigo. A little bit wide on the exit there. Keeps it on the road. And now final hairpin. Power down. Didn't look like he got the best of exits there. And yeah, does not improve. We'll head back into the garage. Neymar to start a lap, taking a nice wide line, making sure he cuts back across. 2 minutes 40 seconds left now in qualifying. We're getting down to crunch time in this first session. John is really stretching out that pole gap right now. Half a second back to Skep and Jug. Stolowski has closed in as well. He's 7 tenths off, 2 tenths back from the guys in second and third. Neymar down the back straight. Everybody getting into their final runs now. So slow through these hairpins, but you can find so much time if you just get it right. Does Neymar find any more time? Does not on that particular lap, but he'll be able to go at least one more time. Bosch Gerbil up in the 5th right now, looking quite solid in that Audi. John in the lane, so that'll be it from him this session. We'll see, does Skeppy or Jug have anything to say about his best lap time? Hop on board Skep into the final 2 corners, dead even with his current time. Does he have any time to find in these final 2 corners? Finds about a 10th on that exit. Got a very nice line through there. Oh, didn't get the run out and does not improve. He'll have one more shot at it. Is Jug on a lap coming out of the final corner now? He's done. Jug will not be able to improve. He'll stay in 3rd at the very maximum. Calzoner has a chance. Neymar also has a chance to beat him. Does Skeppy have any more time in this Audi? Or sorry, Mercedes as his teammate John is currently half a second ahead of him. Skeppy is not finding time at all. In fact, he's losing time on this lap. He's 3/10 down, and I don't think he's going to be able to make up that much time and find another half a second. So this might be a pole position in race 1 for John. Skeppy's still not finding time. Sends it into the chicane. He knows he had to find so much time. That's not going to work for Skeppy. His qualifying is over. Ichigo to the line. He'll improve up into 11th place. Not too shabby there. Those are your qualifying 1 results. John will take out pole with a 27.3. We'll see who gets on in the next session. Does anyone have the pace to match that? I agree, Ichigo's car does look quite nice. I like that metallic red. Black and white are nice accents as well. Also like the Skep's car for today with the purple and a bit of gold. Just wait for the server to reset itself. Get us into the next session. And here we go for race number 1. We'll wait about a minute and 45 seconds. Make sure they got enough fuel in that race car. They do have to make 1 mandatory stop in the 30 minutes. Then it's all fair game after that pit stop. Safety car is Taylor for tonight. We'll see if we need him. But hopefully we don't. We can have a nice clean race and have a lot of fun in the process. So making sure they got their fuel loads right, making sure they got their setups all put together, making sure they got their strategies all in line. And we're going to get rolling here in a minute's time. Race 1 of 2. Ichigo just aiming to survive. Yeah, well,
30 seconds.
The whole field does get points, so just keep that car in line. You should be able to grab a decent amount. But
20 seconds.
I'm sure everybody would like to see you do a little better than just 11th. We'll see though, we'll see.
10 seconds.
We're gonna get rolling here in 10 seconds time, and then it's quite a long wait. You gotta roll all the way around the 2 hairpins to get to the line and the green flag. Taylor into the pit lane where he will stay until he is needed. John rolling. Skeppy will start alongside. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Where have you heard that one before? Maybe not in GT racing, but here now. And then Lexus Lamborghini, second row. Calzoner did improve, by the way, up into 5th place on row 3. So Mercedes looks quite good around here as they get rolling around the final hairpin, turn number 12, to get the drop of the green flag here for race 1 of 2 around Donnington.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Green is underway. We're underway here in Donnington for race number 5, and it looks like John John's gotten a great start. Skeppy didn't get off the line too well. He's under pressure from Jug, who's now gotten by for 2nd place. Jug will move into 2nd. Skeppy to settle for 3rd. A little further back, it's Calzoner taking over 4th from Stolowski, so that inside line got going really, really well to start off this race. No immediate issues I can see towards the back. It looks all clean and starting to get single file through the high-speed section of the racetrack. But Skeppy's looking for a move on the Lexus a little further back. He's looking to the inside. It'll turn to the outside. Not close enough. We'll have to stay behind for the time being. But you can already see it's a little bit of a top 3 breakaway. Calzoner's trying to hang on to these guys as well. And it looks like he's doing so as they're kind of starting to line up here, getting the position they would like to be to make some overtakes happen or defend if necessary. Looks pretty good out of the final corner. Oh, as I say that, I believe that's Stylo around. I was talking about him a little bit earlier, saying he looked really good back last weekend in Spa. Around he goes. On lap 1, it looked like a little bit of a self-spin on the exit of the hairpin. I don't know if he got any help, but back up front, it's really, really close between these guys for 2nd and 3rd. I think Skeppy a little bit faster than Jug right now on race pace. Jug doing nicely to defend. It's a little bit difficult to pass in this section of the racetrack. You really have to it's all about working your way to try and get close for that 2nd half of the lap into the chicane. It's a little bit difficult to get an overtake done here, but if you can get a good run out of the chicane down into the 2 hairpins, it's a really nice place to make a move. Skeppy looked a bit wayward from my angle. Yes, he was. Calzoner a little bit closer to Skeppy than Skeppy is to John John. That's a dive from Stolowski for 4th place. Calzoner gives him the space, and Stolowski doesn't give Calzoner the space in the exit. Calzoner a little bit of a tap and into the grass, but will be able to keep going. Loses 1 position from that shunt, but not too bad. He'll be able to continue on in this race. That's what I'm saying. In this half-an-hour race, it's half the time that they normally have in their hour-long races to make their moves. It gets a bit desperate at times, and it's a little bit of a difficult track to pass in some of the sections. It gets a bit frustrating, and yeah, you see a bit of a tempers flare. You don't want to give anybody room on the exits. It's all about you and how much you can make up in the short amount of time. When do you make your pit stop? Because the pit lane is open from now until the end of the race. They have to make their 1 mandatory stop. You'll see their box next to their driver number tick green once they do make their stop. So you can always keep an eye on that for strategy purposes. But now we're still looking at these guys out front. John John's about a 2nd ahead of Jug, who is still managing the gap to Skeppy in 3rd. But these guys have pulled away from the rest of the field. We have a yellow flag off at the back. That might be Redeemer. Yes, it is. Redeemer and Holt smash off the track as well. Both the Ferraris off at the back. Like, they'll be able to get going. I don't think we'll see a need for Taylor. Another car off in the final sector. I believe 30. Can't tell the number on that, but it might be Arabian Killer, who got a bit wayward there. 1.3 seconds is your gap up into the lead. John pulling away, looking quite dominant, and he's looking to make up that points deficit. It's a big point swing today if you get it right, because it's, I believe, 56 points. I think, yeah, because it's 28 per win. So if you win both races tonight, it's a 56-point swing in your favor. So it's quite a big weekend. Just keep on board with these two here, Jug and Skep. A little further back, I believe it's a nice battle pack forming behind Ichigo with Alphanesis. Gucci showing his Ferrari into the mix. A little bit of a look from Alphanesis. Can't really get anything into that chicane unless you're alongside already. Have to do so with the dirty air, but Ichigo holds on into the hairpin. Little fit a little bit further ahead. Cold Carnival and Neymar quite close together, as they always are. Always seem to find each other on the racetrack somehow. And obviously we've got our battle for the lead. Redeemer and Hulk Smash were into the pit lane. They have just been lapped. It's a short lap around here for these cars, and it's a long pit stop that they have to make. So they both get lapped in the process, but you can see their boxes have turned green. They don't have to pit again in this race. If they get a lucky safety car, might be straight back into this race. So that's what they're going to be hoping for. Ichigo pulled away a bit from Alphanesis, who looks to be struggling just a little bit right now in that Aston Martin. He's got Uchi and Deer Hunter, who is reserving tonight his first race of the season for company. Behind them, Bosch Gerbil and Calzoner, who we missed, must have gone off again or had some issues. Remember, he was kind of shunted off by Stolowski earlier in the race, but now back into 12th. That would be something else happening between them there. It's a good point, Phantom. Yeah, and S is a really easy place for warnings and a drive-through penalty. And again, keep saying it, but it's so crucial. They don't have time to make up the drive-through penalty if they do get track limits warnings tonight. So really crucial. You keep it clean through there, keep it clean everywhere else. There is a lot of grass in a lot of the track, so it does kind of gate any extends besides that chicane. About Stolowski getting in on this action. A little bit of a disappointing qualifying for him, it seems, and it looks like he's doing quite well on race pace. He's caught this top four. This group's still relatively close, and then we have a huge drop off to Cold Carnival and Neymar, who are 5th and 6th. Ichigo's worked his way up into 7th as well, so his race pace looking quite good so far. But you can see a big group. That's a yellow flag. Who is that? That's Stolowski off. Oh, that's a commentator's curse and a half. Stolowski off the track. He'll rejoin back in 6th place. Might be 7th after Ichigo trying to get around him. It doesn't look like he'll be able to do so. Redeemer, a lap car there, trying to get out of the way of these two battling. But Stolowski, that's going to be a huge time loss for him. And, well, now what do you do? Has he cooked the tires? Will he decide to dive it into the lane? Yes, he will. I master its strategy now. So Stolowski into the lane for his should be one and only stop of the night. 20 minutes to go. He will be able to put on a fresh set of rubber and try and push in some clean air, hopefully for him. Head back. John again still extending that gap to Jug, who has Skeppy still for company. How about we... Ooh, that's actually really close between Carnival and Neymar. Carnival seems to be off the racetrack. We didn't catch it on the camera, but he's just lost so many positions. We'll be able to see it at the sector split line. But yeah, he's dropped all the way back, I believe, to like 11th place. So something happening maybe between him and Neymar. Maybe he caught a curb the wrong way. So yeah, Cold Carnival dropping all the way back. Neymar will put himself into the top 4. He's quite good at these sprint races, it seems. Makes up a good amount of points in them. Ichigo also in the Audi, finding his groove up into 5th, trying to track down Neymar. He's pulled away from Gucci Lucci and Deer Hunter behind, who have botched Gerbil for company as well behind them. So Stolowski has gotten out onto the track. He is not a lap down. He has a lot of clean air, so keep an eye on him as we have another car into the lane. It's BRL Skeppy just before the halfway point. So Skeppy into the lane for his stop tonight. An early one, but again, it's going to be looking for that clean air to try and undercut Jug. We'll see what Jug decides to do. Carnival into the pits as well after getting wayward the lap beforehand. But hop back on board. This is the current battle for 5th. Gucci Lucci has Deer Hunter and botched Gerbil behind. Oh, that's really wide for Gucci Lucci. He's into the grass, and that opens an opportunity for Deer Hunter to try and get a run down into the S's. Doesn't look like he's going to be close enough, though. It looks like Gucci's going to get away with that one. Oh, another really wide from Gucci Lucci, and now side by side into the hairpin. Gucci Lucci v Deer Hunter. Who breaks later? Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Ferrari trying to get the undercut. Deer Hunter a little bit wide on the exit. Gucci Lucci's going to be able to get that over under. But it does turn into a left-hand corner, and Deer Hunter has the traction to pull ahead for 5th place. So Gucci drops 1 spot and pulls into the lane with botched Gerbil and Calzoner. So everybody's starting to make their stops. And Jug has stayed out, by the way, so not covering off Skep's undercut 1 lap later. Skeppy does have some nice clean air to work with as well. He has Arabian Killer for company a little bit behind him, but has not made his pit stop yet, so not a great run so far for Arabian Killer. We'll look to get it back in race number 2. So yeah, you can see the strategies are going to start to play out now. You're either going to pit now, just a halfway, or you're going to go long on this first stint, hope for some safety car shenanigans to get a bit of a free pit stop and a fresh tires for a short stint to the end of this race. So for now, we don't really see too much going in the ways of battles on the track, but the battles are right now in the pit lane as our race leader John in just before the 16.5-minute mark. Calzoner pulling out there just ahead of him. But John into the lane now. That gives Jug the lead. And I was going to say some clean air, but not really. He's pulled in. And that's a big spin for Gucci Lucci just ahead of him, who has made his stop on cold tires. It looks like maybe got a bit wayward. Put too much load on the rear, and it just went away from him. A self-spin there. I don't think we will see the need for Taylor to come out. So he stays in the lane, and I don't think we'll need him. But yeah, Jug is now still behind 2 other cars. I believe that is... that's, yeah, Bus Gerbil and Cold Carnival just ahead of him, who are in a battle, by the way. That is 4 positions, so they're not going to let Jug by if he gets to him. Jug now, what does he do? Because he's got this traffic ahead of him. Does he decide to pit? Neymar went into the lane, so does Alpinisis and Stylo. So those three making their stops. We've just got 4 cars left now to make their mandatory stops, and that is your top 4. Jug, Deer, Ichigo, Game Stopper, Jug now. Yes, he will pull into the lane after encountering the traffic, so we'll see where he comes out after his stop in comparison to this man right here, BRL ACC, who's coming down the back stretch into the S's now. He's got 2 slow speed hairpins to manage before he gets around. Ichigo also into the lane as well, so that leaves Deer Hunter, the only one now out on the racetrack who has not made his stop. Game Stopper has also come into the lane in his Bentley, so now what happens between Skeppy and Jug? Jug's box has turned green. He is coming out of the lane now, and there's John. Skeppy far behind. It looks like the undercut has not worked for Skeppy. The overcut has worked for Jug instead, and he will stay in second place. Ichigo coming out of the lane now as well. He'll come out behind Stolowski and will come out around Neymar, just behind Neymar, so stays where he was beforehand as well. That leaves Deer Hunter out he's in free air, so this overcut might work for him. But that's interesting to note. The overcut did work for a lot of drivers. It did not work for Skeppy. He lost 3 seconds. Jug actually closed up to John, so that's something to keep in mind for race number 2 later on. Overcut looked to be the move. The outlaps on the colder rubber did not work out. In comparison, the tire drop-off just is not enough in this short race for these guys to make an undercut work. Skeppy is closing in on Jug now as Jug has to warm up his tires, but yeah, it looks like Jug has pulled a great strategy call out and has closed up the gap to John. Just that little bit, 1.5 seconds. Keep an eye on that as you continue on. 12.5 minutes to go now in race number 1. Remember, we've got action just after this one, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Maybe grab a little bit of popcorn in between the races if you so choose. But yeah, we've got battles up and down the racetrack at the moment. Botch Gerbil and Cold Carnival for 8th place right now. It might turn into 7th depending on where Deer Hunter cycles out in his cycle. After he makes his pit stop, this could be a great strategy call for Deer Hunter in the end because he is doing that overcut, and we've seen it's been working so far tonight. As long as that safety car doesn't come out and ruins him, he should be okay. Yeah, I agree. The ACC livery editor is not the greatest. Some cars you can't even edit the liveries. Deer Hunter into the lane now as well, so we'll see where he does come out. How about this for the lead? John and Jug, 1.4 seconds. Keep an eye on it. Don't count out Jug for this race win. And even though, I mean, it's going to be about 10 minutes to go when these guys get together, does Skep have anything to say about it if they do get too aggressive with their battles? Yeah, custom paint on ACC PC side, but the console side of the game does not have all the great perks, unfortunately. I can't even go look at lap times on the timetables. It doesn't work. Yeah, it's not bad. It's still a great game regardless. It's still very nice to drive, and these guys love it, and that's why we have so many driving out right now. Even Soviet Valkyrie, who has joined in late 11 laps down, is out. They're out driving at the moment, making some laps, trying to get some time under their belt. for the second race where it'll count for them. 0.2 seconds now. Jug closing in. He's really finding some pace in this second stint. Not sure exactly what he's done to the car to make it handle a little bit better, or if he's just finding the confidence in that Lexus around here. Gerbil still ahead of Carnival, by the way, as well. You can see that actually in the background there. And Alphabis is close to Calzone for P11, as well as Stylo and GameStopper for 13th and 14th. We have a car off. Man, just keep commentators cursing. The number next to the names. Actually, don't really know. That might be like level, maybe. I don't really know. Phantom might be able to tell you if he's here still. He knows a little bit more about that than I do. But yeah, it doesn't match their driver number, that's for sure. I can tell you that. But now look at this for the lead. 5/10 is the gap. Like on there, above the race car, you could see. Like it says VRA John, and then the bracket 29 bracket. As here's Jug looking up the inside into the final hairpin. He's trying to make the move. A little bit of contact between the two. John gets a switchback, and he'll stay ahead for P1. 8.5 minutes to go. Now we're getting into crunch time. Skeppy loves seeing this. He does not want Jug to get by. I think Jug is a little bit faster at this stage. Side by side, here comes Jug. It looks like he's going to be able to get the move done on John, and he'll take the race lead away from the Mercedes driver. Ping. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, so it's good to know. But yeah, how about that? Nice move from Jug. A little bit of contact in the final hairpin, but was relatively clean. John did get back by after the little shunt. But now John's going to be looking to get back at Jug into turn 11 now, into the hairpin. Does he get a good enough drive off? It doesn't look like it. We've seen so far this season that Lexus has had the superior straight line speed to almost any other car. That's wide from Jug, a little bit into the apex of the hairpin, but we'll be able to get the run off with the late apex. Crunch time now. These guys know there's not much time left in this race. We have a yellow flag in the back. I believe it's Gucci Lucci. No, I can't. What number is that? 63 might be Deer. Yes, it is Deer. Okay, a little bit slow. He lost a little bit of time. He'll drop behind, I believe. He'll drop behind Botch Gerbil, I believe, for P9, so that'll be unfortunate for him. The top two still very close together. Skeppy's fallen off a little bit in this second stint. Not sure what's handling wise is happening to that car. We have another car off. Who is that? It is not Neymar. Is it Stylo? No, I can't read that number. Is it Redeemer? Yes, it is Redeemer. You can see it's a triple number. I just don't know which one it is. So Deemer off at the back. Not going to affect this race too much. We haven't had a need for Taylor to come out of the lane yet. And you can see this for the lead. John's looking around the outside. Jug goes in deep. John a bit of a switchback. caught the grass on the apex, though. It's going to slow his run, and Jug with the straight line speed should be able to keep ahead into turn 1 here, but still side by side. John's trying to hold it, and Jug's going to be able to force him to the outside, and Jug just stays ahead. So close for this race lead. 5 minutes to go now. Looks like John got a really nice run through there. But now it's so difficult to pass in this section of the racetrack. And John's just going to have to try and stick close for the hairpins at the end of the lap. It causes drama in the late laps as well because, well, final overtaking opportunities are the final 2 corners on the racetrack. So always nice for us commentators to have that action. To the S's now. Does John have anything to say? We'll hop on board. John's red Mercedes. Down to first gear. Look at him. He's looking for that late apex, trying to get the run. A little bit too much oversteer on the exit. You can see at the top of your screen, you can see 4 minutes to remain. Now, not too many laps to go. It'll be about 2 to 3, probably 3. Jug has pulled out a little bit of a gap here, so turn 1 now. John uses second gear, a little bit of a slide. That wasn't the optimal line through there. He's lost a bit on his fastest lap delta. Speed carries all the way down. Can't overdrive the car, he knows that, but it's so difficult to do, to keep it clean and make sure you run it as fast as you can when you're trying so hard and you know how close that car ahead is. It's just a second gap between the 2. Turn 8 now. Short shift to the 3rd, get the power down early. 1.1 seconds is your gap between the top 2. Now it looks like Jug is really trying to put a foot down to the chicane. Don't run it too hot. You don't want to pick up track limit warnings through there. John got through there just a little bit better than Jug, and now on the brakes hard for the 2 hairpins to finish out this lap. Turns 11 and 12. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Now final turn. John really good under braking, but Jug has that exit speed that John is not able to carry because of how fast it's getting into those apexes. So you can really learn a thing or two by hopping on board these guys and seeing where they're gaining time, where they're losing time. And it's so much fun to watch them wrangle these cars around these super tight tracks. Jug just extending his gap now for this race win. And by the way, these 2 are the top 2 in your point standings. Jug over John by 5 points, so Jug will increase his points lead if he can hold on to this one for just 2 more laps. Oh, that's really snappy. John got on the power a little too early. Actually slipped the car under braking, so that didn't help either. But now he's going to have a lot of work to do here. Watch a bit of the hands. Oh, that's deep into the chicane. Found a little bit of time on Jug, though. Skeppy made some kind of mistake or something. He's fallen off the pace of the top 2. Ichgo and Carnival are going to be close on this final lap as well, but we're going to keep on board these top 2 for this race win here.
On the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Yes, Skeppy had front end damage on that car, but now final lap of the race here, of race number 1 of 2 here in Donnington. Jug leads John after starting P3 in this race. John started on pole, lost the race in stint 2. If it stays this way, he'll be looking to rectify that one. race number 2. So we'll see if he can make it happen, but right now it's looking like it's going to be a win for that Lexus crew once again. So good this season so far by Juggernaut. It's been incredible to watch him drive that Lexus so far, and now into the S's for the final time for race number 1. Nice and clean through there. Timer is up, so this will be it. No mistakes into the final 2 hairpins. Don't let John get a sniff of a lunge. And that right there, as long as there's no snap on the exit, that's going to do it. Juggernaut is going to win race number 1 and pick up the full 28 points over his championship rival, John, who finishes in 2nd. And for 3rd, it's going to be BRL ACC. You can see had some kind of issue that we missed, unfortunately. We'll still manage to grab a P3. Just ahead of Stolowski, who had a nice drive back for P4. He'll finish ahead of Neymar and Ichigo and Gerbil, who are now heading into the final hairpin. Neymar will stay ahead. Ichigo a bit wide, but he'll hang on, I believe, for P6. And Gerbil will take home 7th. Cold Carnival as well will take home 8th. After a drive back, Deer Hunter 9th, Gucci Lucci, and Calzoner for a battle for the final spot in the top 10. Calzoner will take that away from Gucci Lucci in the final lap. And then Game Stopper, and then Hulk Smash and Alphanesis will round out the race. So Game Stopper will finish 12th. And that should do it. There's your final finishing results from race number 1. Jug, John, Skep, Stolowski. It's a pretty predictable top 4, if I do say so myself. But it was a good battle to watch overall between all those 4. Neymar finishes in 5th, kind of best of the rest. And another solid points pickup for him. Ichigo in his return back is 6th, so a solid start for him. Gerbil, Carnival, Deer, and Calzone round out your top 10. That'll do it for race 1. We'll wait for the lobby to reset itself. Just waiting between races, checking up on stuff real quickly before we get back into some more action. Takes quite a while to reset, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. So, okay, Carnival did spin, okay, and then he, that's unfortunate. Still got P8 in the end. He was able to beat out Deer after the spin. But not exactly what he would have
Green
wanted.
light, go, go, go.
So, back underway for a little bit more action. We've got qualifying number 2 for our second race of the night. Was Stolowski, yeah, got out on track first, so we'll watch him for a little bit. So we wait. Well, we got to see the first qualifying session. The fastest lap was a 27.3 set by VRA John. What do we see in session 2? It's the same exact conditions, so do we go better or does the fatigue start to set in? And going for at the very least 45 minutes of racing now, and that's not including any practice that they might have been doing on the server beforehand or by themselves. So Stolowski's going to come around and complete his first lap. We'll see if it was valid or not. And his time on the board. .28.4 to start us off. Neymar, I believe, also finishing a lap. Maybe just starting one there, so anybody else starting? I believe John might be finishing a lap. He is actually invalid, so he's going to have to go again here. We'll hop on board. BRA John, last session's pole sitter. There, his delta is a 29.1, but we know the 27.3 he did last session. Let's see where he can put it this time. A little bit wayward there, got a bit of a snap. I can correct it, get the car turned in for the first apex, run it out a little bit wide. Make sure you keep it on the road. Now a little bit of a break before you hit the S's. The car turned in for the first apex, second apex. Make sure you use all the curbing possible. And now to the final two hairpins. On the first, rotate the car. Some cars like to use the curbs, some drivers depends on your style. Now into the final turn, turn number 12. The apex. Let's see, what will this lap be from John? It'll be a 27.6 to start. 3/10 off of his previous pole time, but currently good enough for P1 in this session. It's got a little bit of time on the apex, did not carry it through on the exit. He's dead even with his previous time. Saw a bit of a snap of oversteer on his previous lap, so we'll see if he finds a little bit of time because of that. Still pretty much dead even. Good through there, and there's a lot of time. 2.3 now, and this lap's looking really good if you can hook it up on the second half. 4/10 up. That's crazy good from John. It would be better than his previous pole time if he can hook up this final sector. Oh, just barely invalidates the chicane. That would have been another 2/10 if he had kept it clean. That's what happens at this racetrack. So easy to do that. And right now, Stolsky and Jug on the back of him. And it looks like Jug is finding some time right now. 3/10 up on his best lap of a 27.7. 27.8, apologies. Out to the chicane nicely over the curbs you saw there. Into the final corner, looking to take away pole for now. Will be about a 3/10 improvement on his 27, and it'll be a 27.552. Actually dropped down to second as Skeppy improves up into a 27.513, so just barely ahead of Jug. Back on board John, who's about half a tenth up. Not as good as that previous lap we were watching him. But we'll get that right. Oh, snap of oversteer on the exit as he tried to get on the power. Car rotated. Make sure you get the exit. Looks like he's done okay there, but is definitely not the lap that he was looking for compared to his previous. Final hairpin, and it'll maybe be a half a tenth improvement here. We'll stay third, 27.6. We know he's got time in that. Calzona off the track. Is Stolowski on a lap? He is not. So Stolowski not on a lap there. Yeah, this is our only split on Xbox, and PC also has one split as well for ACC. We're looking to maybe see how it goes for next season, our 4th season. For a 2 splits. It all depends on signups and drivers, though. So at the moment, we kind of have like 24-ish, 25 drivers, and we can only have a max of 20 drivers in a race. So yeah, that's about what we're looking at. So it's a we'll see kind of thing at the moment, but for those interested, you can sign up as a reserve and hop in the races. We usually don't get every full-time driver in every weekend, so that's what we're looking at the moment. F1 tiers, we've got 4, so that's a whole different side of things. For ACC, 1 tier on each platform. How about Jug and Skep improving their lap times up into a 27.342, pretty much matching our previous pole time in Quality 1. And it looks like John's going to be going for another lap here. So we'll get his delta up in the top corner. 5 minutes remain in qualifying 2. Getting the nice run out of the final corner. We'll start the lap. Finds time in turn 1. That's a lot of time found in turn 1, actually. Over a 10th up. So now they wind their way down sector 2. Nicely, they're there. 2.5 tenths up now. As they head back up the hill. Oh, a little bit wide there, and that's invalid again from John. He's just not putting the lap together. We know he's got it in him to hit that 26, but gotta find that one lap to do it. Botch dribble back into the lane is Stolowski on a lap. Just barely down on his best of a 27.7. And finds a bit of time. Half a tenth now. Turn 8. Caught that apex really nicely, but unfortunately did not carry the speed. I think a little too early on the apex there. Down a tenth into the chicane. The S's. Finds time through there though. That was a nice exit, and he'll carry that down into the hairpin. Car slowed, rotated on the power. Just barely improving at the moment. We'll see, does he have any time in the second hairpin here, turn 12. Looks good through there. He found another half a tenth or so. He'll improve by about 1/10 and move up into 4th place with a 27.6. Let's see. Is John on a lap again? Yes, he is half a tenth up. Nice speed on the exit there. Finds another 1.5 tenths now. 2 and a bit tenths up. 2 minutes remain in this quali session. It's crunch time for these guys. John a bit deep into the... Oh, that's not the exit he was looking for. Too deep into the chicane and missed the mark on it. We'll have to go again. John's running out of laps in time here to get this quali lap in. Is Calzone starting a lap now? Yes, he is. A bit wide at turn 1, and a bit of snap of oversteer. Not greatest of laps at the moment. Still Skeppy on provisional pole, but Jug is matching his previous best time. A little bit down. Just has to find about half a tenth to snatch that pole position away from Skeppy at the moment, but losing time through this section. If we find any, yeah, a little bit, and a bit of a snap there, and that will pretty much do it for this lap. How about John? Another, he's 2 tenths up again as he runs down the back straight. Can he get this lap right? He has to find about 2.5 tenths to try and snatch pole. To the chicane. Got a car ahead of him. Might throw him off a little bit. The car does get out of the way. John does lose time through the chicane, but not too much time. He's still about 2 tenths up. Hairpins. Finds a lot of time on the entry. Does he carry it on the exit? Yes, he does. He carries it 3 tenths up. Can he finally improve on his previous best lap time through the final hairpin? It's going to be a 4/10 improvement from John, and he'll put it into the 27.2s at the death with 30 seconds to go. He snatches pole away from his teammate, who will have one more shot to grab pole position back. So does Jug. He's on his final lap at the moment now. And he is pretty much dead on even as he heads down the hill. Back up. 5 seconds left in quali, so if you're not crossing the line now, you're done for the night in qualifying. Skeppy does not improve. He'll stay in second. It's looking very similar to the last session we had. John holding down pole. He improves by a 10th over his previous pole time in qualifying 1. Now hard on the brakes for Jug. Is he improving? Looked like a bit of a slide through the apex there. He's a 10th down. I don't think he's got the time in this final hairpin. He's going to send it in there. But yeah, to no avail. This car does not stick for Jug. And it will stay in 3rd. Calzoner done as well. Will stay in 6th. There's Alphanesis improving as well as Cold Carnival. Game Stopper as well. Could be on laps as well. That will do it for qualifying number 2. John will take pole once again with a 27.1. He went even faster. He got himself into the ones. Skeppy P2, Jug P3. It's very, very similar to what we had last race. Stolowski 4th, Botch Gerbil 5th, Calzoner 6th, Alphanesis 7th, Cold Carnival, Gucci Lucci, Neymar rounds out your top 10. Stylo, Ichigo, Deer Hunter, Redeemer, Game Stopper, Arabian Killer, and Soviet Valkyrie and Hulk Smash will round out your field for the race number 2. So we wait for the session to reset itself, and then we get the cars back lined up on the grid. So lined back up on the grid for our second half an hour race. And we get ready. These guys will have to do one more mandatory stop in this one. And yeah, we're going to have a very similar race to what we had in the first one, but we will see. We'll see, because these guys always have some interesting strategies in hand. We saw the overcut worked last race. We'll see how it works this time. Who decides to do what on the strategies, who makes what work. And we will get back underway in 10 seconds. John gives us the word. Yeah, we are back rolling. Skeppy a bit off. From that, he's going to have to catch back up to John as they round turn 11, and they'll round turn number 12. But here we go for race number 2. John around the final corner. We wait for the word for the green flag to drop.
Green light, give it all you can.
Green flag is out, and we are back underway. It looks like Skeppy's got a much better start this race than he did last time, but that's contact between the two Mercedes. That's John into Jug, and we have a very different start to last race. Skeppy leads from Stolowski side by side for third between Butch Giblet and Cold Carnival. John and Jug with contact along with Skeppy. Not sure how much damage is going to be on those race cars to start this race off, but everybody keeps it in a relatively straight line, and we are underway. Championship implications from that one. Our two rivals in the championship, John and Jug, will be a little bit pressed for time to try and get these overtakes done, and Skeppy will look to find himself back into the championship hunt. Drive through for Arabian Killer at the back. Cold Carnival going off the racetrack and spins it out. Does he collect anybody in front of the racetrack? I think he did. Yes, he did. He collected Soviet Valkyrie. And those two will need to fix a bit of damage on those cars. Pit lane is open. John's into the lane. Taylor Clan is coming out of the lane right now. We do have a safety car. It'll be our first one of the night. So Taylor has brought out the safety car after a few lap 1 spins and shenanigans. We have 4 cars into the pit lane. John, Deer Hunter, Arabian Killer, and Cold Carnival. Well, this will kind of take away that strategy element, because you can make your mandatory stop now. But it'll be interesting to see what these guys do decide. There might be one or two guys that don't take the opportunity to make their pit stop now, as Taylor waits on the side of the racetrack for the leaders to get back around. Here's John coming out of the pit lane along with Deer Hunter. Don't think there should be too much action happening here. Watch Gerbil and Jug side by side though. Gerbil is going to stay ahead for the time being, but Jug's looking for a move. Going bold into the hairpin. Botch Gerbil gives him the space on the inside. Jug's trying to make it work, and I think he might. And he'll be able to get by before the safety car gets caught. So Skeppy's caught up to Taylor. Ichigo into the pit lane. And that might be a great strategy call, because he's able to hit the lane for the others who will be held behind the safety car, going slower than what they normally would, along with Neymar as well, both into the lane. Cold Carnival and Soviet Valkyrie still in the lane as well. Must have a lot of damage on those cars. You can see the front end not looking too great on that Aston Martin. But now what happens? These guys will have to make a mandatory stop. I'm assuming they're all going to do it now once they get back around to the lane. But it becomes a question: do Ichigo, Neymar, Arabian Killer all benefit from this now, because they were able to hit the lane before they caught the safety car, so they should be able to, in theory, gain a couple spots after the guys ahead of them make their pit stop. So Ichigo out now, so is Neymar. You can see him rolling his Lexus back out of the lane behind him. And John will jump Ichigo. Does Deer Hunter? Yes, he does. Deer Hunter will be out there. Cold Carnival is off the racetrack again. He is a lap down. He should be able to get his lap back. And we'll hop back over to the race leaders, because these guys, I believe, should all be into the lane, and it should be very, very busy. No, Skeppy stays out. Stolowski, Calzone, everybody behind them all pit. That's an interesting strategy call from the top three. I would have thought to pit there, but I believe this is going to massively help out John, because he's going to be able to cycle out into the lead, because he was not under safety car pace his entire outlaps. It should also help Deer Hunter and Ichigo, so we should have a mixed up front of the grid here. John passed them the lane now, and yeah, he's going to be able to jump all these guys. John will cycle out to 4th. Deer Hunter 5th. Game Stopper is a stop-go penalty, so that is unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be able to serve that under safety car, but not exactly sure how long it's going to stay out here. Interested now. Do these guys all pit here? Yes, they do. They'll all come into the pit lane, but they're going to be cost so much time. John's going to cycle out into the lead now. Cold Carnival will get his lap back here. You'll be able to see our leaderboard in a few moments time here. It's a bit mixed up right now, and we'll be able to analyze it in a few moments time. But you've got to wonder how big of a mistake that is from Skeppy, Calzone, and Stolowski there, because that's going to cost them a lot of positions. Skeppy was leading the race before that safety car had come out, and now he's going to probably be all the way back in about 15th. And he actually gets beat out by Stolowski out of the pit lane, so Stolowski with a faster stop. You can see in the background that is Calzone rolling as well. But about now we should be able to see our official leaderboards. It'll be John in first, Deer Hunter in second, Ichigo in third, Neymar in fourth, Jug in fifth, Botched Gerbil in P6, Stylo 7th, Gucci Lucci 8th, Damer in 9th, Hulk Smash in 10th, Stolowski, Skeppy, Arabian Killer 13th, Calzoner in 14th, Cold Carnival 15th, GameStopper 16th, Alpinesis in 17th, Soviet Valkyrie in 18th, currently in the middle of the pack, which is interesting. Get your lap back, but not sure how they're faring with communication to the rest of the drivers. So safety car will be in this time, and John will lead us back to green. We'll have 20 minutes of racing. No pit stops to be made for anyone in the field. John's back to green, flag running. He's going to have Deere for company to start, but you've got to think he's going to be able to try and pull away here. John will a little bit of a gap here. Neymar did get off to a great start. He's got his Lexus teammate Jug for company. They might do a little bit of a team orders swap here, as that's wide for Deer Hunter and Neymar. Neymar can't get back on the racetrack. He's trying to get back on just ahead of his other teammate Stylo. No contact between the two. Stylo was able to react quick enough to Neymar's off track, but Neymar losing positions there off that restart. Maybe didn't get the tires warmed up to his liking. And here's Jug all over the back of Deer Hunter. Will he be able to make a bold move into the S's? It doesn't look like it. Deer's going to stay ahead, but Deer cuts that section. Maybe caused Jug to cut it as well. Jug, nice rotation. And he's going to be all over the back of Deer Hunter. Maybe looks for a bit of a lunge into turn 12. Looked for it. I don't think he's close enough, but Deer does run it a little bit too hot. And here comes Jug on the exit. Oh, just barely. Wasn't able to get his nose there, and will slipstream Deer Hunter down the main straight. Around the outside. That's bold if he can make it work. Deer Hunter will leave him the space. Oh, that's a bit of a snap from Jug, and he can't get by Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter doing an excellent job of defending at the moment, and this is really, really helping John. Jug's looking for a move around the outside. Oh, contact between the two. That's Jug off, and Deer Hunter off as well. That's championship implications again. Jug into a wall. Deer Hunter into a wall. That's more contact. That's Skeppy off. Deer Hunter rejoined, and Skeppy's off the racetrack. Did not get into a wall, fortunately enough. Oh, that's tight. Brady tried to step on the brakes there. But this is absolutely perfect for the man out front right now. John, he wants the most boring 17 minutes and 50 seconds of his life to happen right now. He does not want a safety car, but does Taylor move? I think he does. We do have a second safety car in this race, so a very different dynamic to the first race that we've had. And now this gives a bit of a lifeline to Jug, Deer Hunter, Skeppy as well, who are a bit down the order. Jug will actually pull into the pit lane and get his damage repaired to the best of its ability, but he'll have to make a hell of a lot of passes to get a good points haul from today. So this will be an interesting one to watch. Deer Hunter also into the pit lane as well, got into the wall. Colt Carnival in as well. This is huge for the championship because Jug did win the first race and was able to swing a little bit more points in his favor. Extend the gap just ever so slightly over John, but if it finishes how it's looking right now, John is going to be able to take that points lead away easily. And even Stolowski, who's sitting 7th, might have a shot to try and get close to Jug's points total as well. Unfortunately for Skeppy, this was kind of the race he needed to be able to try and catch those guys in front, but He's unfortunately been caught up in a lot of the issues as well. He's sitting in P10. Still gonna have a bit of time to try and make those passes happen, but it's gonna be dire here in the closing laps. I'm not exactly sure who's gonna be able to make the moves and make them stick, because we've had a lot of incidents in this second race. Everybody getting very impatient. But we should be able to go next time by and have about a 13-minute shootout to the finish. And how about Ichigo in P2? What does he have for John? Can he get by on the restart and cause a bit of an upset there? Halfway through now, but we have not had many laps in this one, just 8 laps. Most of them have been under safety car conditions. Yeah, this is a very different dynamic to what we've had so far this afternoon and evening. We're gonna see if we can get some post-race interviews going after this race. I'll invite the top 3 from this race, and then the ones who are missing from this top 3, I'll invite them from race 1 as well. So we might see up to 6 interviews. If we have a completely different top 3, we might only see 3 interviews if Jug and Skeppy can get back to the podium places. But we will see. Try and get as many interviews going as possible after the fact and get a lot of different perspectives from these races. Taylor is going to be pulling away here from the field, and we're going to go this time by. It'll be just under 13 minutes of racing here. John will lead us back to green ahead of Ichigo, ahead of Botch Gerbil. So an Audi 2-3 looking quite good for that team. Audi, a coveted manufacturer for next season, season 4, from the rumors. I have some good rumors, some good sources that we're going to have a big dream team happening in Audi next season, so stay tuned for that. John's going to be rounding the final turn now, and we'll stomp on the throttle and get us back to green flag running. So John leads, Ichigo leads Botch Gerbil ahead of the 2 Lexuses of Neymar and Stylo. Let's see if I can get the helicopter cam going here for us. A little bit further back. It looks like it's a pretty clean safety car restart. We're going to hop back on board Skeppy, who's got... Oh, that's Redeemer off the track there ahead of him. So that'll be 1 position up to 9th as well. Keep an eye on by Juggernog, who's currently 13th. That is another car off at the back. Might be Deer Hunter. Yes, it is Deer Hunter off at the back. But I'm not sure if we're going to see another safety car in this one unless we have another big pile up about now. So John hasn't really gotten away from Ichigo. Ichigo's got some good pace at the moment to stick with him. And a little bit close between these guys for P7. Here's Gucci Lucci, Calzoner, and BRL Skeppy right behind. And the Lexuses as well, close ahead. A bit wide for Gucci Lucci, making it just barely staying on the racetrack there. A dive from Calzoner as Gucci's really deep into the hairpin. Side by side out. Jug is up to 11th, by the way, behind these guys. And it looks like Calzone is going to get the move done for P7. So Calzone up into 7th. Can Skeppy find a way through here? Looks like he's got a nice run on the back of Gucci Lucci. Looking to the left-hand side of the racetrack. Just does not have enough of a run on Gucci Lucci to make that one happen. So he's going to have to bide his time. And, oh, that's big contact. That's Ichigo. That's Ichigo way off the track. He was all the way up in 2nd place, and that's contact with Gucci Lucci. That's going to put Gucci out of contention. That's really unfortunate for Gucci Lucci. 10 minutes remain in this one. Do we see Taylor make a move again? Not sure. That's Arabian Killer off the racetrack as well. Deer Hunter having to avoid. Don't see any movement from the safety car, but this just helps John, as that's a dive from Stolowski looking on Neymar, gave him the room. A drive-through for Gucci Lucci, so from bad to worse for that Ferrari-powered car, as Stolowski will make the move stick for P3. He's gone past both the Lexus cars onto the podium, so watch Gerbil and Stolowski make up 2 new positions on the podium. Maybe we get to talk to them after the fact, but got to keep an eye on Skeppy and Jug, who are sitting 7th and 8th. Can they capitalize on the chaos that is happening in front of them to try and pick up a few more spots in this one? Jug needs the spots if he wants to hold on to the championship lead, because John's currently running away with this race out front, and I don't think Jug and Skep have enough time to go and catch him. Jug will have his 2 Lexus teammates ahead of him, who should be able to play nice. And Skeppy also has Calzone directly ahead of him, his Mercedes teammate, so they should be able to try and work together to pick off these Lexus cars in their quest to the podium. So 2 Lexuses looking pretty good at the moment to hold on. But it's going to be tough, as here comes Skeppy on his Mercedes teammate, and Jug's trying to make this work for him as well, looking up the inside. That's contact between the 2 Mercedes, not playing nice at all. Skeppy gets through, so does Jug. Calzone loses 2 positions. Here comes Jug, will look for a dive. Oh, just not close enough, but Skeppy hot on the brakes under pressure, and Jug makes a nice move up the inside into P6. Here comes Skeppy, though, got the run on the outside. And it won't be enough. I think Jug is going to hold on to 6th place in a nice move to make that one work for him. And now he's got his 2 Lexus teammates ahead of him, so it should be easy pickings here for him. But you never know. That's a Lexus off. That might be Stylo off the racetrack, and so is Stolowski off the racetrack. 2 cars off the racetrack there with 7.5 minutes to go. Stolowski was running 3rd. Watch Gerbil has opened up a nice gap now. He's currently sitting P2. Not sure if he can challenge John for the win, but he's looking really good to hold on to his first podium of the season. So that would be an awesome result for him if he could make it work. And so many cars just under pressure, falling off the racetrack, left, right, and center. The fatigue starting to factor in as well, as they've had 2 qualifying sessions a race, and they're almost done with this one as well. So it's been a long night for these guys. So now it's Neymar having to fend off for a podium position over his Lexus teammate Jug. Jug, you can just tell, has so much pace in that Lexus. As that's a spin! Into the pit lane goes Skeppy! We have not seen that today. Skeppy into the pit lane after a uncharacteristic mistake out of the final corner on the traction. And that is gonna pretty much do it for his championship hopes and his race hopes tonight. That was an interesting one, to say the least, but we'll hop back on for the battle for the third place position between the two Lexuses. Here comes Jug. Neymar's not giving it to him easy as they go side by side through the high-speed sections of this racetrack. And Jug gets through for third. So now if Jug can get up to Botch Gerbil and make that pass happen before this race ends, guess what? The championship gap after 2 full races, 56 points up for grabs for the wins. And the championship gap stays at 5 points if Jug can get back to second place and John wins this race. You just can't make it up. You really cannot. As Neymar's actually looking for a dive on his Lexus teammate for this podium spot, and a bit of contact between the two, but Jug's going to be able to get the run off and should hold on to third. Neymar wants that podium and he wants that interview. It would be his first podium of the season. His best finish at the moment is 5th, so if he can hold on ahead of Stolowski, it would be his best finish of the season. Now Jug's got a lot of work to do. 7.9 seconds to Botch Gerbil ahead, and only 4 minutes 45 seconds remain. It's going to be very difficult, to say the least, but if anyone can do it, it's going to be Jug. By the way, Skeppy is on the back of Deer Hunter for P10 after his pit lane mishaps. Skeppy's going to be looking to recover a few points from this one. Not going to be happy with that mistake. That was really unfortunate for him. Just too early on the power. Traction didn't kick in as he would have thought it would, and that did his hopes of a podium out the window. I believe we are done with safety cars for the night. We should not see any more. With 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go, the battle for 4th is heating up between Neymar and Stolowski. Neymar, again, he's looking for his best finish of the season. Currently is a 5th place. He's looking to hold on to 4th and better it by 1 position. But Stolowski is looking to get that position back after the mistake. That's a big lunge. If he was able to get underneath Neymar there, that would have been an incredible pass to witness, but unfortunately just not close enough. Jug is catching Botch Gerbil, but at the moment I don't think it's by enough to get P2, and I believe John would close the gap in the championship ever so slightly. See this battle for 4th. Neymar a little bit swirly. They hit to turn 8. That's contact between the two. That might have been a bit of a lag issue, but Neymar punting Stolowski off the racetrack. We have another yellow flag off. That might be Gucci Lucci. No, it is not. Who is that? Can't tell. Might be. Can't tell. Don't know who it was. Maybe Hulk Smash, but maybe Deer Hunter as well. Might be actually Deer Hunter. That's a drive-through for Stolowski. Bad to worse for the Lamborghini driver as Colt Carnival, his teammate, goes up to the back of him. That's Soviet Valkyrie off the track just ahead of them. But Stolowski, a drive-through late in this race. No way he's going to be able to make up any more time. Just 2 minutes remain in this race. That's heartbreak for him. He's going to lose all the positions he had made up after his little excursion off the racetrack. But actually, as we were focusing on that, Juggernog has gotten around Botch Gerbil, so Botch Gerbil has made a mistake somewhere. He's going to be trying to hold on. 5 seconds is the gap from him to Neymar. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage on that car and can hold it off. 4.6 now is the gap, so keep an eye on that gap as we enter the final minute and a half. We should be entering the final lap of the race next time by, as John has had a flawless run. Good pit strategy call from the first safety car. Was able to take the lead from that, and he's not looked back since. Yeah, him and Jug are gonna stay at 5 points gap, but after an entire 2 races in this one. But Bosch Gerbil does look quite quick at the moment, trying to get on the back of Jug as well. John rounds your final corner. We'll take the white flag.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give me the final push.
The final lap of the race. We will make sure to try and get as many interviews in as possible. We should be able to talk to John, Jug, and Skep from race 1. And we should be able to get Botch Gerbil in if he finishes off this podium from race number 2. Carnival and Neymar, what a shock. They find themselves very close on the racetrack like usual. And they're going to be fighting over P4. Neymar will fight this one hard, as he always does. Great defensive driver when he needs to be. Very annoying to race against, I can tell you that much, but he's a lot of fun to watch up here in the booth, so we'll keep an eye on that and keep an eye on this for 2nd place. Don't think Botch Gerbil is going to be close enough to buy Juggernaut to overturn this P2. But what a drive back from Jug after the incident with Deer Hunter it was before. Got a safety car to kind of bail out, but did have to drive his way through the entire field and all the way back into 2nd. But the man of the 2nd race, the man of the hour, is going to be VRA John, who's going to round the final corner, and he's going to win race number 2 here. And it's going to be a similar, identical gap as it was in the championship before they entered tonight. It'll stay the same as by Juggernaut finishes P2 in the 2nd race. Botch Gerbil with a surprise podium will finish P3. Neymar will just barely hold on to P4 as he had Cold Carnival run it through the grass to finish off this race. Stylo with a P6, a bit of a quieter one. Calzoner P7. Skeppy is going to be able to hold on and take P8 after the pit stop mishap. Basically serving a drive-through on his own. Game Stopper 9th. Stolowski back in P10 after his late race drive-through. Gucci Lucci finishes up in 11th. Deer Hunter P12. Hulk Smash will round the final corner for 13th. Arabian Killer 14th. Alphanesis finishing 15th. Redeemer and Ichigo unfortunately did not have the greatest 2nd half of race number 2, will finish down in 17th. But that will do it for the racing action. We're going to see if we can get our podium finishers from both races in here. And get some interviews going. Just getting our podium finishers into the party. I'm going to see if I can also get Skeppy in here. He finished on the podium from race 1. He had 4 different podium finishers in the 2 races, but the story of the night was absolutely our 2 championship favorites at the moment between John. They have joined us. I'm going to see if we can get Gerbil and Skep in here as well. Can't find his tag. Where? But we've got Skeppy, John, and Jug in here. I'm gonna see if we can get Gerbil in here as well. Skeppy, if you don't mind, we'll start with you. Make sure you guys include your audio as well. Race 1. I know you had the spin at the end, but it was still a podium in the end. Do you think anything could have gone your way in that race to have a better result than that?
in race one, not a chance.
Yeah.
Those two were at the end. I was catching them, and then that like weird kind of clumsy left right up the hill kind of just caught me out. I got on the exit curb in second gear and just I was like 6,000 RPM, and then it just skyrocketed to like 8,500, and I was like, well, there it goes. It just hit the wall. So I was like, might as well just try, right? And at that point, I was like, I'm just going to settle for third.
And then race 2, it was, well, where do you want to start? The safety car, the strategy, the spin into the pit lane? What do you want to start?
It was just a bad series of events. The safety car I was okay with, and I actually totally spaced on pitting, and I was just running laps behind Taylor because everybody was talking. And then I pulled Stolo. I was like, hey, wait, like, where is everybody? And then that's what I was thinking, and I looked behind him, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I realized everybody went into the pits, and it's like, well, I guess we're screwed. So at that point, it was like, okay, might as well just make the pit. I think I was like 11th, Stolo was, or I was 13th, Stolo was 11th, something like that. We drove back up to like, I want to say at least the top 5. And then when I was trying to get around Calzoner, he's like, take the inside, and then I didn't realize Jug was like sniffing my fumes basically. So Jug sent it even further up the inside, and it was like, oh dear. And then basically what happened with the pit lane thing, which was crap, came out of the last corner in first gear. That's usually how you're supposed to take it anyways, is out in first gear, and then short shift. And the car, just same thing as in race 1, it just went from like 6,000 to 8,500, like nothing fast. Sent me into the pit lane, and it was either like hit the brakes and over-rotate and get stuck, or just take a risk-free drive-through. So just took the drive-through, and then at that point I was just mad, so I just drove with all the anger I had. Pretty sure the brakes were smoking at one point, but
well, it's not the weekend, unfortunately, you would have wanted.
I think it's still overall like a podium, because it's 100% points for
overall.
both races.
It'll be around third or fourth, once you add up the points from the 2 races, and it's not too bad of a weekend.
No,
but it's kind of a what could have been.
Yeah,
situation.
Donnington's my arch nemesis, bro. Like, I just last season I had a deer hunter incident that just ruined my motivation, and then this season almost again was a deer hunter situation, but this time I flipped the script and he was the one spinning, not me. So,
well, I mean, congratulations on the race 1 podium, but it's unfortunate in race 2. Botch Gerbil with a surprise podium in race number 2. Make sure you include your audio if you've not done so yet.
Yeah, okay.
I did not catch where you finished in race 1. If you could fill us in on that when I let you go. Race 2, a good strategy call. You got Ichigo went off ahead of you, and you got obviously got caught by Jug. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but talk us through that second race and how that went for you.
Yeah, it was a good race. Kept it clean through the start, and then was able to pit, and then luckily a couple guys forgot to pit, so got a bunch of positions that way. And then I was running P2 for a while, had a good 7-second gap with like 4 minutes to go, and then I spun the last corner, just lost traction in my rear, and then the car had to restart, so Jug got me there. But yeah, really happy to get on the podium.
Yeah, congratulations. Is this your first race?
I've raced, I think, 3 now this season. I just missed the last 2 due to issues, but and I'll be here for the rest of the season.
That's awesome to hear. Hopefully more to come in that Audi. I know one person in this party envies you for that race car.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Take care of it.
But yeah, congratulations on the podium. Hopefully more to come this season. We'll move to the top 2. I don't know exactly who to start with, because you guys came into this race 5 points apart. You come out of this weekend 5 points apart. You can't write this any better, to be honest, halfway through the season. I guess I'll start with Jug, who won race 1, finished the second race 2. talk us through. I know it was a good start to race 1, and you were able to work your way methodically and got to John in the closing laps. You can talk us through that, and then race 2. How stressful was it trying to get through the midfield and the pack to eventually climb your way back into second?
Well, race 1 was definitely an interesting one. It's odd. I feel like at the start, it didn't really let Scappy be side by side with John. He was a little bit behind. So it gave me one, got by. Yeah, I'm not proud of kind of how I drove in race 1. It wasn't my ideal race pace, to be honest. And going into the last corner, I think you saw twice, side by side with John. I went way deep. And, thanks to him driving defensively, it prevented us both from crashing. The actual pass in the turn 1 was pretty clean, but I wasn't happy with the last corner 2 times in a row then. As for the second race, that one was really unfortunate. I think John and I both had quite a dramatic race because he crashed into turn 1. And, I wouldn't really say it was stressful working up the field. It was actually quite the opposite. Once you fall back, it's frustrating. You get angry, but at that point, the stress is gone. You have nothing to lose, so you might as well push it. I think I made about 4 passes. I think about 4 people happened to crash, and so I was kind of gifted that position. Half earned it, half gifted. So I gotta be happy with that. I wasn't really too confident around this track. I really was not feeling comfortable in the first qualifying. Second qualifying, I felt much better, but Skeppy and John were just ridiculously fast. And yeah, I think Spain will be a better track for the Lexus, so I'm looking forward to next weekend as well.
Yeah, should be for the Lexus a little bit better around there, but yeah, would you say it was a success to hold on to the minimal point lead that you had after the 2 races today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, the goal is to extend the lead, especially after what happened last weekend, the incident, and going into lap 2, being touched from behind, and and having an unfortunate finish to that race. I obviously wanted to come back and further extend the gap this weekend, but considering how poor I felt here, and considering how rapid John was, I think it was 5/10 up in qualifying in the first qualifying, which is insane. I'm definitely happy to hold on to I guess the same gap as there was previously.
Yeah, congratulations on that, and we'll move now to the guy who's won race number 2. Unfortunately, just got beat out by Jug in race 1. Talk us through, because it was stressful race 1 trying to hold on to that gap. You were on 2 different pit strategies, and he caught you at the end. And then race number 2, you guys got into each other on the first turn, and you made a good pit strategy call under safety car to, kind of drive your way straight back into the race win. So talk us through anything that really happened race 1, race 2 that you can give us a little bit of insight on.
Race 1, I'm just still a little frustrated because I was leading most of the race, and it's just obviously I lost a couple tenths due to traffic, and then after I pitted, I caught one of the Aston Martins, and I went off the track due to the dirty air, and lost even more time than Jug was able to catch up with that, and obviously Jug made a pass in the last corner, and obviously my butt was clenched so hard. It was just I was like, please do not, just because I had to almost swerve right just to not get hit and try to do a switchback at the same time. So, I'm still decently happy with P2. Obviously, I'm 3 for 4 at this track in wins. So, I kind of wanted to try to keep that perfect, but not the case. And then race 2, Jug actually didn't hit me, or I didn't hit Jug. I actually ended up hitting the side of Skeppy because my brakes didn't want to work at turn 1. And to be fair, I got pretty lucky the fact that basically other cars pushed my car the right way around and was only able to get 5 seconds of damage out of that. So, I know. Thank you for that. You're probably screaming inside. But, no, I got very lucky with that. And then, obviously, I'd say I got lucky people not paying attention when the safety car was called, and I pitted the first time and then gained basically everything back, and then was able to pull away because Jug and Skeppy and even Stolowski were all like in the mid pack, and then there was another incident and Jug fell further back, and then I was thinking, okay, this is a really good opportunity, and then he obviously comes back and finishes second. That's a little annoying, but fair play. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to kind of keep it at 5 points is a little annoying. I obviously wanted to make it a lot closer, take the lead, but I mean, the fact that we stayed the same amount of points after this race, I'm fine with.
Okay, well, heading to Spain next week, and then I believe it's Suzuka after that. Are you confident in either one of those two tracks to beat Jug, or do you think the Lexus has a little bit of an advantage?
I think Spain, it's probably going to be close between me and Jug again. Now, Suzuka, even though how much Jug rules over that track, I could probably see him winning that or something like that. I don't know. It could be close both ways. It could be, who knows? I mean, who knows what could happen? 'Cause, I mean, Spa was a disaster for me, obviously. So, who knows? We'll have to see in the next coming weeks.
We will have to see, and hopefully you guys all tune in to see. That was a nice segue. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys tune in next week for Spain, same time, 7 p.m. East for ACC. And just gonna quickly plug our other events that we've got going on. We've got Realistic. They're also at Spain as well this weekend. Realistic, F2, and our F1 tiers in the next coming weekend. So a lot of Spain action to come in the next week, and I hope you guys are here to watch it all. That's going to do it from myself and our podium finishers from our two races. Thank you guys for watching. I will